Belshire Vestige.
Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, leading 2-0. It's Polt. And down in the bottom right, his opponent, the man that likes to move things along very fast. It is E.G. Oz. And Polt's going to mix it up here.
Yep, he is. He's going to drop the barracks, so most likely we're going to see a Reaper opening out of him. Of course, a really, really big game for Oz right now, Ben. It's everything or nothing. If he loses, he is not going to go to the semifinals, and it's a $3,500 difference. It's a big jump already.
It's huge, and perhaps more important than that, the WCS points, the invites to
Man,
the later
Polt must
stages of
be
the
going
tournament.
pretty damn well, this WCS ranking, after winning Anaheim, and you know.
And now being on the verge of a top 4 finish in WCS America Season 2.
Yep, Season 1 he grabbed up a couple of points as well, even though he fell out in the round of 16, but it was still a Premier League appearance. It was still in the round of 16, so Polt is doing good business.
I would say so. As we can see the probe of Oz making its way up into the main base of Polt's going to get a nice scout, going to spot that, hey, there is in fact probably a Reaper on the way.
This time also funny how Oz switches up his scouting, because first game he was an early scout, second game he scouted much later, and now in Belshire he's going to scout a little bit quicker again. Then we do see that Reaper in production. Most of the time when Polt opens up with a Reaper, of course, he is going to follow it up with a command center, but after that we often see a little bit of Widow Mine play as well. Not a big commitment to it, but just 1 or 2 mines, and you know, 1 or 2 mines in the hands of Polt can be very dangerous already.
This is something we saw from Polt in the round of 16 as well.
Yeah, where he was moving the SCV around, really cute as well. Good thing for us is that he's building a Zealot. I hope for him he's not cancelling the Zealot.
Nope, it's going to finish, I think.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Well, that's a good decision. Otherwise, if you cancel the Zealot, you just don't have that much DPS. It's going to take a Stalker a very, very long time to take down an Engineering Plate to 0 HP.
Oh, he's coming all the way around the outside of the map, so I guess he wanted to scout for proxies. It's still going to take the Zealot a long time to work on that engineering bay, and the Reaper will be able to kind of plug away at him a little bit.
It's a really nice way to delay the Protoss a little bit. Of course, Polt's own command center is going to be a little bit later as well, because he opened up with the Reaper, but this makes up for it, and he can still cancel it as well. This is pretty much for free. Also, he's going to be able to hammer away at his Zealot. Where's the Stalker? It's going to take a little while. There is a Mothership Core out, but still, the Reaper is a lot quicker than the Mothership Core. If Polt is able to somehow take down the Zealot,
He's not going to get it. Zealots are tough, man.
Zealots are tough.
They laugh at Reaper bullets.
Wow.
Super annoying probe.
Kind of mad at each other. Mothership Core is going to try to usher this Reaper even further away, and now Oz can drop the Nexus in his own natural as well. Curious to see what we're going to see out of Oz. I really felt he was playing so well in Game 2. He was almost doing everything right. The mobility with his Blink Stalkers. He took damage on Stalkers, but he never lost them. He was ahead in upgrades. It's just one mistake. It's just against players like Polt, they just don't let you make any mistakes, man. It was, of course, a really big one. I mean, 5 High Templars and not a single Storm is, you know, something you see on my stream, Ben.
No, Garad, you drop the storms.
On my own unit.
You might not hit the storms, but you'd at least drop them. Here comes the Mothership Core into the main base, and a couple Marines out for Polt mean that this shouldn't really do any damage.
There's a low HP SCV though, so this Mothership Core might be able to pick it up. There we go.
Well done. Well done by Oz. Might even get one more SCV.
There's another SCV which is kind of low on HP. Mothership Core being very annoying. Picking up 2 SCVs is really nice.
Reaping the fruits of that probe's labor.
The only bad thing is that he has to make sure that this Mothership Core doesn't get trapped, because we know how Polt loves to abuse the fact that when Mothership Core used energy early on for whatever reason, whether it was a photon overcharge too early or a time warp, that he somehow hits the timing when the next photon overcharge is not ready. So Oz has to be really careful if he decides to recall out.
Oz is once again getting a pretty fast blink, Kev, so...
I don't mind it at all, because I really liked the way that he was playing out that last game. In the start I thought he's going to be very aggressive with the blink, but he wasn't. He was just playing a very, very nice macro playstyle with a lot of map control, with a lot of mobility. It made sense. It all fell, it all connected with each other eventually.
Yeah, it worked out, and had he not made that mistake with the Templar, I think I think this could be a 1-1 series pretty easily. But
at least we had a real game on our hands. It wasn't looking bad for Polt, but it was definitely not like a huge advantage or something. And a 3-base Protoss is a 3-base Protoss, and then it all comes down to how good is your high Templar control. And you know, Oz is trained really, really, really hard. You can see that in his recent success as well. All those months at the EGTL house, they're definitely helping.
This
Definitely
mothership core is so annoying. Picking off a third SCV and then once again hiding in the background. But now Polt's little push has been revealed. Gets a Stalker for free.
And this is kind of risky right now, because does he decide to recall? If he does he have enough energy for Photon Overcharge? Man, it's going to be really close. If he's going to decide to float it all the way back, it's not going to be back in time. And I really do feel that he has 4 Stalks right now.
No, there's no combat shields. I think with a little bit of control, Oz should be okay.
A little bit?
Well, a lot of it.
He's going to need an additional weapon, and then he might be okay. The Mothership Core is still not coming back.
Here comes the probe pull, and actually, no, not a probe pull. He's just going to run him around. And, oh, man, Polt's doing a lot of damage already, killing all these Stalkers. Are they all going to fall? God. Concussive Shells is done. That means at least one more Stalker is going to go down. Second Stalker takes a lot of damage, and now the probes are in trouble. On the other side of the map, we can see that a pylon has been set up, but nothing doing in terms of counter aggression. Finally, the Mothership Core comes back, casts Photon Overcharge in the natural, but
it will be enough eventually.
Man, he
to clean
takes
this little
so much damage. Blink finishing, and of course forced to be revealed. Once again, we've got a very lucky Stalker.
I mean, he's still 7 probes ahead, so it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. He did lose a couple of Stalkers, and Stalkers are expensive units, but this wasn't free for Polt either. Taking a look at the units lost resource tab, we can see that Oz lost a little bit more. He did lose a lot of mining time, but he didn't lose that many probes. For a second, I was really afraid he was going to lose 8, 9, 10 probes there, and then I was afraid it would be almost game over.
It was starting to look that way, but I think one of the big reasons that Oz is so far ahead in the worker count is because Polt hasn't dropped that third command center that we're so used to seeing. He's instead working off of 3 racks. He's got his first medevacs out. Oh wait, no, there's the third command center going down. He's going to put it on the low ground.
He has to be careful, because once more these Blink Stalkers could potentially snipe it like we saw in Eklund Waste. Has to be careful, and Oz is careful for now.
Critically spotting those medevacs, knowing now that, okay, I've got to be extra careful.
The robotic facility is almost done as well, so we can get a couple of observers out on the map. We'll most likely drop the Robo Bay immediately. You can see it going down, but he's going to need those Colossus. Blink Stalkers are awesome in controlling the map, sniping off medevacs, but in a straight-up engagement, you're going to need the DPS of the Colossus.
Yeah. 83 supply for Polt against the 77 of Oz, and Oz is still working off of a nice little probe lead, 52 to 46.
I think he's going to try to snipe his command center, but it has too much HP this time. 5 Stalkers don't have that much DPS. But even if he would only just be able to pick up this SFV, would already be nice.
Or, that could even be one of those little Stalker hit squads once that command center finishes. That can be very annoying and tough to deal with. Here comes Polt spotting this pylon and dealing with it. Doesn't have to.
I love it. As soon as Oz sees those units on the left side of the map, he immediately moves Stalkers north. He's going to take control of the Zelnaga Watchtower. What is he going to see? He's going to see one Marine. Billy the Marine.
Billy the Marine dead again. He needs to get out of the army, Kevin. Yes. Maybe consider being a gardener or a baker.
You know, acceptance is where it all begins, man. Once Billy accepts he's not meant to be a Marine, he can move on. But he's not ready.
Maybe a cook on a battlecruiser.
I hope he doesn't have micro vision.
No vision. This is bad news. And now they can go up into the natural, but not before taking some damage and losing another of their Stalker brethren.
More Stalkers being wiped in right now, so we're going to have 7 Stalkers. That's definitely enough to snipe some medevacs we're trying to drop in the main base.
That was a probe harassing. And that is all.
It's something, then.
SCV disassembled the probe faster than the probe could tase the SCV.
Oh, these units are kind of far out of position. I hope that Oz is aware of this. This looks very similar to something we saw in the last game. 62 against 46 army supply right now, but that's not all that bad. The only problem is for Oz, he's still on 2 bases, but is that a problem, Ben? He's been on 51 probes for a long time. Normally you say, okay, 51 probes, he wants to go up to 3 bases. But I don't have the feeling that he really wants to do that this time.
He's out on the map a little bit as if he wants to be aggressive. There's something moving over towards his third. Is that a probe?
Yeah, it is.
Sure is.
It's a 13-minute third base, though. It's so late. He has a lot of Blink Stalkers. Now his units kind of miss his little hit spot from Polt.
Once again, Polt finds an opening. Can he do the damage fast enough? Stalker's blinking back. Nexus taking a lot of damage. Down to half of its health. Less than half of its health. It is going to go down. Polt does snipe off that natural Nexus.
Wow, great pickoff once more for Polt. of course, he is going to have to worry about this counterattack. This is going to be a pretty scary counterattack. We have 9 Zealots, which are going to have charge soon. We have 13 Blink Stalkers, 2 Colossus, Thermal Lance is about to finish up, but Polt has so much production behind this.
Yes, he does. He's at 70 army supply against 64, and this is single Stalker goes down as Oz was getting a little ahead of himself.
Only 4 Vikings, though. He's going to need more Vikings than that. No Vikings in production now either, because he needed to replace those medevacts. I actually think that Polt is going to have to give up this base, at least for now.
He's going to lift it. SCVs will run immediately.
Oh, good force fields as well.
Nice.
Come on, Colossus. Oh, he had the juicy shots.
Okay, so SCVs are going to get roasted. That command center goes down. Oh, it's just going to go down, period. As it does eventually fall. The army of Polt sitting contentedly in his natural does not want to go out
losing
and challenge
a lot of
this.
SCVs there, man.
Yeah, that was painful. So Polt did a good job of kind of punching Oz in the nose there, but Oz punches right back.
That was a good punch as well.
It was a damn good punch. The kind of punch that he'd give Artosis if Artosis picked him to win.
I wouldn't want to be Dan right now. Storm is about to finish up, just like the Nexus in the natural, so Oz will once more be mining off 2 bases. You know, in a weird scenario, Ben, if this goes on for a while and both players stay on 2 bases, it's going to be kind of good that he lost his Nexus, because it's going to last so much longer.
Yeah, you're kind of right. He will have income for a longer time than Polt will have income. He's not going to mine out his bases fast. Mule's contributing to that in part, and also the inability to mine from that natural for a period of time contributing in part. Third Nexus going down now for Oz, who feels confident enough to expand here.
Polt has a little bit of money, has a little bit of gas as well, but he's still not dropping a Ghost Academy, so no signs of Ghost production anytime soon. He's going to rebuild this 3rd command center. Oz has to be careful, but he does have high Templars here, man. Where are they? They should be here soon. Oh, yes.
They're in the back this time. Much better position. And there's a good storm. Going to land all over the bio. Great storming by Oz, and much better engagement than what we saw on Akalon Way. Still, Polt does get a reasonable exchange. Picking off a Colossus. Maybe he wants to disengage now? I don't know. He seems...
Good that he had those force fields, because it was actually looking kind of tricky there. Oz has 600 minnows. He could wipe in a couple of additional units.
Little hit squad going to come after this Colossus and forced to disengage. Archon.
Time warp going down now as well. That's a very nice time warp. It's the entire army pretty much.
Surprisingly, Polt still trades very well there.
Yeah, without barely any Vikings. If that Colossus count would have been 3 instead of 2, it would have been a much harder fight.
Yeah. But as it stands, Polt nearly doubling the army supply of Oz. It's 94 to 60.
I think Oz was a little too trigger heavy with those storms though in that fight. He landed like 3 storms on a very small squad. Of course, Polt being the excellent Terran that he is, only sending in a few units, and those units, they baited all the storms.
And it's pretty good positioning here from Oz as well, not wanting to allow any opening for drops, had his Stalkers up on the high ground, but Polt is going to set up a multi-pronged attack here.
Oh, the Mothership Core!
Oh, Mothership Core will manage to cast Photon Overcharge before it goes down, but here comes the second wave of the attack. Oh, a great storm goes down. A second good storm goes down. Great storms from Oz.
I think this is a much better fight for Oz this time.
A phenomenal fight, and he is going to push Polt back on one front. Still Marauders and Marines pushing forward on the other, but the Protoss line holds, and Oz, at least for now, is sticking around. Army supplies are 86 to 54. Polt still with more units out on the map, and still with some incredible fighting strength. Oz has to be so careful about how he positions himself and how he engages.
It's 2-2 bio against the 1-1 Protoss army. He's going to pick off one Archon.
Second goes down.
Second Archon goes down as well. Storm was pretty good though. Even +3 being researched already for Polt.
But there's so many medevacs, man. There are 10 medevacs out. This is just almost like laughable when the storms go down, because the bio just backs off and heals up completely.
Oh, this observer is going to spot his medevacs, but did he actually see it? It seems like he did.
Yeah, he's moving in response to it, and
splitting up his army as well,
leaving some units behind. So good play here out of Oz. Polt is going to come from both sides, but I think Oz is going to be able to deal with it. Medevacs are here and unloading.
That's a lot of bio units, though, and they're in a pretty good position.
A very good position, but the Zealots getting on top of the Marauders, and the Stalkers supporting from behind. And the other side in the third base, Storm landing on the army of Polt, and Colossi doing work. That's a great defense in the third.
But
in the
main base,
though, looks like the bio's a little too strong.
A lot of these pros being brought out now as well, but there's still a couple of Marines left.
Polt will pick off some pylons. That's going to make it harder for oh man, unpowering nearly all the gates up in the main base. Robo also at risk of going down, and it is unpowered. Can the Colossus stay alive? It is going to dance back. Probe's doing a good job of screening for that Colossus. And Oz does hold once again, so well played by Oz.
Very well played there.
95 supply to 68. That was a great defense, man. It's so hard to split up the Protoss army like that, and Oz manages to do it expertly.
But Polt, his aggression is relentless. He's going to move in once more. A lot of these medevacs are so low on HP that one storm would be able to do so much damage.
Colossi very awkwardly positioned. There's a big stem, and the Marauders come forward. Both Colossi are going to go down, and that's going to make this fight much harder. A third Colossus in the back trying to help out. Polt way ahead in supply, 140 over 80. And look at that, the third base goes down at the same time. Multi-pronged aggression from Polt. And Oz just cannot keep up in spite of his great positioning, in spite of his great control. Good game.